The New York Islanders. I know a lot of Islander fans here on 103.9 are watching every single game and wondering, where do the Islanders go? They're not playing very good hockey. They're not putting the puck in the net anymore, and that's a big problem. There was a story coming out in the middle of the week that Lou Lamoriello reached out to the Vancouver Canucks as Bo Horvat and his team, his agent, were sitting down and discussing contracts with Vancouver and decided not to sign an extension. So now Vancouver could be looking to trade their captain. He's a young player, one of the best players in the prime of his career, center who can win faceoffs. He has 20 goals right now, and he's doing everything right now. Great defensive player as well. Two-way star. Now, what do the Islanders need to do to land a player like this? They're going to have to give up some pieces. Now, I don't know who or what Lou Lamoriello is looking at. Could be first round draft pick in maybe a Wahlstrom or a Dobson or a Pelech or Pulak and somebody else. The contract's got to make sense too because they have to re-sign him, obviously, if they bring him in. It's an interesting story. Is it likely to happen this year? Probably not. We hope that it could happen. We wonder if it could happen. The chances of it happening is very small. But Lou has made moves before, and maybe Vancouver will decide that they no longer want to wait for this guy and maybe put him out there.
Yeah, it's evident that Vancouver wants to see the beginning of the season because they were also looking to trade JT Miller and Brock Besser last offseason too. And if they still struggled this year, they were going to definitely try to look to go into a rebuild. And Horvat is the best piece they have to move to try to get anything big back. He's 27 years old. He's one of the best face-off guys in the league. He's already won 400 this year. So that's a guy that could win 1,000 face-offs this year. That's crazy. 21 goals already. And he's 27 years old and durable. And those types of players do not come to be available that easily. You see wingers get dealt very easily in the NHL. Centers like this, not the same case. So the Islanders are definitely going to have to give up a hefty price. I would imagine the price will have to start with either Wahlstrom or Dobson. There has also been rumors that the Canucks have been interested in the Islanders' top prospect in Aatu Raty. That could definitely be a guy, if they don't want to trade as much on the NHL roster, they could definitely look into, and then draft picks as well. But it's going to take a lot. These guys don't come in very easily. Horvat, very durable. He's played all 29 games this year. He played 70 games last year. A guy that the Islanders could definitely use as a type of first, second line center. He's got good speed. They need speed, and he's got great face-off ability and goal-scoring ability. And get to be a hefty price. Would it work for the offense? Absolutely. For the whole team, it depends on what they end up trading away, but he's a great player. I would love the Rangers to get him, but they're going to have to trade quite a price, too. That would have to start with Kaapo Kakko and probably Braeden Schneider, maybe even a lot more than that. So, but the Rangers definitely need a face-off guy. I would say they would need it more than the Islanders, but the Islanders look like more likely favorites to get him right now.
Well, the Islanders have more pieces.
Yes, they do.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Bo is going to be traded. Maybe he gets his contract. Maybe he gets the money that he wants from Vancouver. Right. But right now, the Islanders need offense, and why not go after a better player and a pretty good player at the center position? And I say better because the Islanders are clustered with centers. They have a lot of good centers. They have Brock Nelson, they have Pajot, they have Barzell, they have Cizikas. They have all these different guys. Maybe they bring Bo in and they move Barzell to the wing, which I've been saying for a while. That's what they should do. This is a pipe dream that might never happen. As far as the Islanders are concerned, Sorokin has not played well in the West. He's been giving up a lot of bad goals. They need to pull off wins or even get ties and points. They need points because the better teams are starting to win now. Pittsburgh, Carolina, the Rangers, the New Jersey Devils are starting to lose. They're starting to lose a couple of games, so they might fall off. So it is open. And the way the Boston Bruins are playing and the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing, these teams could pull away. And the Islanders do not want to go into the All-Star break in the next couple of months being in position where they were last year, where they're playing catch-up. They do not want to be in that position.
Even if the Islanders aren't this regular season powerhouse like we've seen in the past, because most of their success has come being as wild card runs. But still, the Islanders are in a tough division right now that also a lot of trends cannot last forever. Yes, the Devils are not going to stay as hot as they were in the beginning of the season forever. We're already seeing some kind of leaks. The Rangers had a great comeback on the Devils when they were down 3-1 and they ended up winning in overtime. But Carolina also, they've been stellar defensively, but they are down offensively. That's not going to last forever either. And the Rangers too. They're not going to be as bad defensively as they've been for a lot of the season so far. They've been better recently on their hot streak right now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, but those kinds of things might not last forever either. And in a tough metropolitan division, you have to be able to stay consistent. If the Islanders don't find some level of an offensive groove, it's going to be hard to do that. Now, in addition to Horvat, we've also heard them with Patrick Kane rumors, Vladimir Tarasenko in the past too. Maybe they try to make the move early. I don't know, but the Islanders need some kind of spark with this kind of offense. If they have to shuffle lines, maybe they have to call up Raty if he's ready. I'm not sure, but they got to find something because Barzal seems like he's doing everything out there, and it's very hard for a guy to be able to just carry a guy.
He's passing. He's not scoring, and that's a big problem. Their best player, they paid a lot of money in the offseason. He's fantastic. He really is. One of the best skaters in the world, one of the best stick handlers in the world, but they don't have a closer on that line. Anders Lee could stand in front of that. That's great. They need a closer. They need a guy that could put the puck in the net, and they don't have one. And how is this kid going to figure it out, being that he's 25 and he's in the prime of his career and you want to get the best out of him, and he can't do it because they don't have a player that is anywhere close to the talent he is. So it's a big problem for the New York Islanders, and they need to figure it out because Lou Lamoriello cannot go into the All-Star break saying, oh, well, we're going to get this from this guy and we're going to get that from that guy. It hasn't happened. It's a problem.
It's the same kind of thing I said with the Giants, too, in our second segment. It seems like once teams have figured out to make him shoot the puck, Barzal, it just hasn't been as effective of a team offense as a whole. And since he had that stretch of he was finally scoring a little bit of goals, he hasn't gotten as many assists either. I think he only has 2 in the last 5 games. And teams are starting to figure that out. And it has not created great success for the whole team offense collectively. The Islanders have been known for depth on their lines, but haven't been able to show it because of that.
Yeah, and that's why you expect the Islanders to do something, and they might have to do something early because of the lack of offense that they've had and the problems they've had over the last couple of weeks. And their defense hasn't played well either. So this is one of the better elite defenses in the league. And Sorokin, who I think is an elite goaltender, he hasn't played well on the West Coast. It's definitely something that you have to worry about if you're an Islander fan. As far as the Rangers are concerned, they're playing good hockey and they're starting to win. And I know Ranger fans think that it's smooth sailing now. It's not that easy. The Rangers defense is not good. And I've been saying that for a long, long time. And their goaltending is not as good as it was last year. Even with this winning streak, Shesterkin hasn't played well. It's really been the goal scoring. It's been the talent up front. That's why the Rangers are winning. So we'll see how this team transitions as the season progressively moves on. There's a lot of hockey left.
Yep.
So anything's possible.
The one thing that's been good with the Rangers recently on this hot streak has been the kids have been starting to pick it up now. Lafreniere now has 14 points. Hedl has 15 points. He had a game-winning goal against the Devils. The young defensemen, too, have been the best part of it. Ryan Lindgren, who was battling an injury a lot of the season, he's starting to play really well. Braeden Schneider has been great all season long. He's probably been their best collectively best defenseman. You're right. Igor, statistically, we expected some level of a drop-off. But yeah, 2.45 goals against average, 917 save percentage. Definitely down for his standards, what his level of goaltender is. And he's had a couple soft ones, some games that weren't his fault, but still not a great sign compared to last year. The good thing about the Rangers, too, they've been much better in the third period. They've had trouble closing games at the beginning of the season. They're still having trouble playing at home. Closing games is a sign of a young team for any young team, and the Rangers are definitely doing that on this winning streak. Will they keep it up? We'll see.
That's up to the Rangers, really, and that's up to the talent that they have on the ice. So we'll see what happens. I think the Rangers are up for it. I think they'll be in it to win it. The question is, are they going to be in it to win it in the big games? That's the most important thing. And the Rangers so far have not been as good as we expected them to be early in the season, where everybody thought it was Carolina and the Rangers and everybody else. It's not like that. And Carolina is starting to play good hockey too. So it's going to be fun moving forward with both of these teams. Let's get into the Barclays Circus, because it seems like it just keeps on going and going. You know, Santa keeps on giving gifts, and why not another gift? And James Harden, who's no longer with the Brooklyn Nets, now he's moving towards the Philadelphia and that fan base. James Harden takes shots at KD and the Nets organization, wondering why he was a quitter when KD has been trying to quit on the Nets since he's gone there. I don't know what's going on with that organization. They're winning. They're 17-12. They're the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Great. Kyrie's playing well. KD's playing well. Ben Simmons, before he got hurt, and now he's back, he's playing well. That's great. But this team has no depth. This team has been a circus. It seems like every time somebody speaks, if they're not on the team or they're on the team, it's something negative. There's no positivity whatsoever about this team. It's just a bad aura. I don't know what to say about this team, Speedy. As a matter of fact, I would say that this is better than Ringling Circus. This was the Jets when Rex Ryan was there. But Rex Ryan was trying to make it a circus. They're not even trying to make it a circus, and it's a circus.
Oh, yeah, it's a circus because there's a lot of parties that are just looking really bad. James Harden, yeah, you could say that Kevin Durant is a quitter. That doesn't mean that you're not. You requested a trade twice in less than a year. First from the Rockets and then from the Nets the very next year.
They're both quitters.
And now you have to go to Philadelphia, where that fan base is hostile as well. So if you start struggling in the playoffs like you did last year, you might be forcing your way out again. So who's going to be the quitter in that situation?
They're both quitters.
Kevin Durant's definitely a quitter, too. Definitely taking the shots the way he did at the Nets organization, the Nets ownership the way he did in the offseason, requesting the trade that never ended up happening. But I still think could happen throughout the season. But again, if the Nets are in a playoff spot, who knows? But either way, that team culture is a mess. They are right about that. I'll give James Harden credit. The Nets front office is definitely not one to definitely aspire to anyway. But still, that doesn't mean you're not more than a quitter. It doesn't mean that Kevin Durant's not a quitter. But you're not the one to be saying that, James Harden.
They're both quitters.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say any more than that. They're both jokes. They both have complaints. They both want to say things on and off the air. It doesn't really matter what they are. Both of them just need to go and play basketball. I don't want to hear any more about James Harden. I don't want to hear any more about Kevin Durant. Go and play the game of basketball, and whatever happens, happens. Because to me, these guys have been nothing but a joke since they've been in Brooklyn or since he's in Philadelphia. They've been nothing but complain junk artists, and all they do is cry me a river. Kevin Durant, go play basketball. James Harden, go play basketball. And then maybe you guys will meet in the playoffs, and then you guys could yap and say whatever you want on the basketball court. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's disgraceful. Both organizations need to find a way to control their two players.